In this demonstration, we'll learn how to link to different areas within the same page. It's typically done on a long page where we've applied some scroll effects to create some parallax scrolling and other things. So I've basically got some of that already set up here with a whole slew of content on a page that kind of goes on here, and you can see I've got a lot of scrolling and a lot of content within the scroll. So what we're going to do is we've got these three links here, Slovenia, Brazil, and South Africa. And down the page I've got various sections with content relating to those names. So I'm going to link to those different areas, and the way we do that is we create or replace what's called an anchor to the place where we want to basically move to the top of the browser. So we'll put in some anchors, and then it's as simple as linking to these anchors. Our anchor tool is over here in the toolbar. So I'll just start, and I will put one at the top too, as a courtesy to the user. If you're going to scroll way down the page, it's good to have a button called top and just have it linked to the top of the page. So maybe we'll start with that one. So I'll go with the anchor. You simply click on it, and then you can see here that I just have to click to drop it down somewhere. So I'll put it right at the top of the page, and it comes up with a dialog box asking me to give it a name. Basically naming conventions, I use all lowercase and no spaces. So I'll call this one top and click OK. Alright, so there's my first anchor. That actually will be accessible as a link when I start to create links. So I'm going to put one here. It looks like I had one here when I was testing it, so I might as well leave it. It's called Slovenia. And again, when I link to it, that's what will come to the top of the page. So that saves me a little time. And we'll drop one down here close to Brazil. I'll just sort of put it at the top of where this content starts. And if need be, you can always fine-tune the location of these after testing. Brazil. And we'll drop in one more here for South Africa. Alright, so for the top of this section here, South Africa. And again, I'm not using any spaces. It is case sensitive if you want to use camel case, but I'm going to stick to all lowercase. And then we click OK. I'm just going to do a quick save here. And now I'll link those buttons to those anchors. And I will duplicate the button called top and position it accordingly as well. But let's start with these buttons. And I do have a group here, so I'll click once again to get the actual button. And I can see what it is over here. State button. Like if I was to click over here, it would say rectangle, text frame, etc. So I do know what I'm clicking on if I refer to the top left corner, and it is a button. So when I go to my hyperlinks, here are the anchors, and for Slovenia, we'll just check off this one here. Actually, I'm on page home too. It's good to be aware of where you are actually. I'm on page home too. I did a test page called home, which already had these anchors in place, as you can see. But I am on this particular page. So let's just set up a link to that. And I'll just go across here. Button called Brazil. Link to that. And we'll go over to South Africa. And we'll link to that one. Now I'll just scroll down the page a bit. I do have one button called top already in place. And it's just a text frame at this time. But I can still create a link out of it. Top. There we go. And with that one, I'll actually copy it. And since it already has the link and it's going to be the same link each time, I can just paste it on different sections down below here. So I'll just paste it here. And I'll just drag it and align it basically to the top of the text box with the name of the country. Now I could go Alt click and drag or Option click and drag on a Mac. I'm just going to paste it here and manually align it using these smart guides. And let me save that. Should be done, of course. I need to test it to be sure that it's working. So we'll test this in a browser. Preview page in browser. And if I scroll down here, of course, there's all the content, as you can see. And let's just scroll back up. And if I click on one of the links here, Brazil, it scrolls down to that spot. And again, if you want to fine tune, I can see the text is a bit tight at the top. I could move that anchor up a bit and just do a bit of adjustments with respect to location. And let's just click this top button here. And that pushes us back to where we started. All right, so all of the three buttons should do the same thing. Take me to the respective sections of the page. And it does actually generate the animation. If there are scroll effects attached to this page, they will generate as we scroll past those areas. And there you have it. That's how you can link to a specific spot on the page, including back to the top, which is just a location, again created by placing an anchor at the desired location where we want the link to go to. So I'd like you to try this one out on the provided file that I believe came with the parallax scrolling exercise.